Hello and welcome back to Pine and Berry Homestead. Today we are in the kitchen. It is a hot one outside, so I decided to have some fun in the kitchen today. Yesterday my mom came to visit and she brought me this beautiful herbal bouquet. It has chives in it, chive blossoms, chamomile, some flowering sage, and some honeysuckle that I'm going to try to root and put in my garden. But I thought this was a fun bouquet because as an aspiring herbalist and somebody who wants to use food as medicine, I think this is just such a lovely bouquet because it's not only beautiful, but it is functional, it's edible. You can use it for other things besides beauty, which is what we're going to be doing today. So I have taken the chive blossoms off of the chives. I've washed them, I've dried them, and I've also taken some of the chives that she brought that I'm going to use. And today we're going to make a chive blossom butter, which is one of my all-time favorite things to make with the chive blossoms and the chives, because this time of year we come into an abundance of chives and chive blossoms, and chives are a cut and come again thing. So you can harvest it multiple times throughout the growing season and use it for multiple things. And one of my favorite ways to use it is in like a compound butter. So I am going to be making 2 sticks. I'm just using 2 sticks of butter that is at room temperature. I'm using the chives and the chive blossoms, and I'm going to be putting them in these super cubes, and I'm going to put them in the freezer so they can harden up the way that I would like them to, in like a square shape. This is such a versatile thing. You can use it to season baked potatoes, mashed potatoes. You can use it on your veggies. Some people who put butter on their steak while it's cooking, you can use this butter on the steak as well. And the other thing about making compound butters is you can use pretty much any herb that you really enjoy. Like, I know we really enjoy chives, so that's what I'm going to use. But if you wanted to do like a sage butter, or even maybe a nasturtium butter and make it a little bit spicy, you could do that as well. So it's just something fun to do in the kitchen while also preserving and using your harvests to the best of your ability. Let's get started.
This recipe seriously could not be any more simple. You start with room temperature butter. It can be salted or unsalted. You take a fork and mash that butter up just to make it a little bit more workable when you go to mix in your herbs. And then you go ahead and finely chop up the herb of your choosing. You can do a few different herbs in one, or a single herb like I did. You take those chopped up herbs and fold them into the butter. Once that's done, you can go ahead and shape it up however you would like and prepare it to go into your freezer to use when you're ready, or to put it in the fridge to use right away. I prefer the freezer method because I'm able to take little chunks off here and there as I want. I also found that the entire process of making the chive blossom butter was super relaxing. I don't know about you, but I personally feel like we live in such a fast-paced world and we are always on the go. And sometimes I'm in autopilot and I'm not really savoring the moment or truly enjoying it for that matter. And I've found myself really enjoying the slow process of making this. So I guess sometimes it just takes sitting at your kitchen table, mashing up butter, and chopping up herbs to slow down. A simple way to be creative and keep your hands moving while taking a breath.
All right, welcome back. So it's been about 30 minutes since the chive blossom compound butter went into the freezer, and it feels pretty good. So this is the moment of truth. All right. Now, I choose to do it this way, but some people might form the butter into like a log, or really, I mean, just get creative with it. Have fun with it. This is a really cool thing to do with herbs that you grow in your garden because it is so versatile. You can use it on pretty much anything. I mean, obviously I wouldn't use this for baking cookies, but I will use it on, you know, buttering my toast, cooking my eggs in the morning, on my baked potatoes. We'll throw it on top of some steak, any veggies that we cook. This is something that I am going to make a bunch of, but today it was just so hot outside that I really don't feel like being outside in the heat of the day, and turning the oven on is not something I'm interested in either. So I thought this would be a fun little project to do while it's so hot out, so that I can preserve some of my fresh chives that my mama gave me. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? And I can smell the chives. It just smells so lovely. Oh my goodness. Super pretty. Just a lovely little compound butter from herbs that came from my mom that I really appreciate. So what I'm going to do next is, wipe my hands off real quick. I'm gonna, excuse me, wrap this in wax paper, and I am going to stick them in freezer bags and put them in the freezer until we are ready to use them. That was probably too much, but that's okay. It's just, I just love getting creative in the kitchen and just using things that come from the garden. It's one of my favorite things. I love being creative, and this is one perfect way to do that. Wrap it up. And for this recipe, like, I didn't really use a recipe. I just eyeballed it. Like, I had 2 sticks of butter that was store-bought. It was salted butter. And I just eyeballed how much of the herb that I wanted to put in there based on our taste. Some people may prefer putting less herbs, or even maybe putting more in there. But I thought this was a perfect blend. And these super cubes are perfect. I love them. I absolutely love super cubes. In the fall, I start making lots of soups and freezing single portion sizes, because there's some soups that I enjoy that my family doesn't, like pea soup, and I make a cabbage roll soup, and those are the soups that I eat and my family doesn't really enjoy. But these super cubes are wonderful, multi-purpose. Use them for so many different things. Just throwing that out there. Okay, that's it. So easy. So easy. I'm just going to throw it in a freezer bag and put them in the freezer until we're ready to use them. And I will be making a lot more of this stuff. That's it. That's all she wrote. I hope you get to go out in your garden, pick some herbs, and make your own compound butters. And get creative with the things that you have in your garden. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.